So hello everyone, welcome to Meet's first ever stakeholders event.
Before we start, the first thing we want to say is thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time today. And thank you for your commitment to the Meet program. It's important to learn that in Meet, I've learned many things. I've learned coding, yes, and business and leadership skills, etc. But what I really got from it is to keep an open mind when it comes to other people, is the ability to work with other people. And I can say that without Meet, first of all, I would not be a proud founder of a startup, and I would not work with amazing and experienced people just like Shaima.
Meet introduced me to the world of technology, entrepreneurship, business, which is at the core of what I do today. And I lived 5 minutes away from Israelis, but we never had a real conversation. And in Meet, it wasn't only the first time I had a real chat with an Israeli, but it was the first time I had a real friend. And the first time I worked together with Israelis for 3 years on projects that I really cared about. And in Meet, I realized that our similarities can be more than our differences, and about how necessary it is for us to know how to work together in order to have a better future for both of us.
Meet played a very big role in shaping who I am today. Meet kept on challenging me with more and more responsibilities until I reached the position I'm currently holding, leading the CS curriculum and the CS team of around 30 people, which I'm proud to say most of it is alumni. In 2020 only, we have created, developed, and improved 4 different computer science curriculums.
As you can see, Meet provides a lot of tools to its students, but I wasn't really sure about what exactly I got and how can I implement this in my life. After I finished the program, I drafted to the IDF and I enlisted as a combat soldier in the Armored Corps. And I remember that in my service, when you encounter a lot of difficult situations, when your friends get hurt, then suddenly all the skills and tools I gained as a student started to come into effect. I remember that being able to see things from a different perspective, also being there to help conflict resolution.
So my family is pretty right-wing, but my parents were very excited when they learned that I got into Meet. But my brother, on the other hand, he was not happy. He used to laugh at me for having Palestinian friends and even joke around and say that I'm a traitor. But luckily for me, I got a different experience. And on my 3rd year at Meet, there was a parents' event. Unfortunately, that year, my parents were abroad. And so I took my chances and asked my brother. And surprisingly, he said yes. And by the end of that evening, he came to me and he apologized. First, as an educator, he was so impressed by what we've achieved in just 2 weeks. And second, and most importantly, it was the first time that he had the chance to get exposed to Palestinians in a positive context. This was the first time when I finally realized how powerful the tools that I got at Meet are.
After Meet, I applied to MIT and I got in. So I was taking my exams and attending my lectures. And then 3 of my fellow students and friends committed suicide in the space of 2 weeks. I don't need to tell you the effect that this had on me, but it was shocking. For me, as somebody who's Palestinian, who's just come from Meet, I thought, wow, okay, if Israelis and Palestinians can talk to each other like they do at Meet, then definitely MIT students can talk to their neighbor. As a Meet alum, the way that I look at technology is I look at it as a tool. It's a tool to create change. And so I founded a nonprofit called Lean On Me Peer Support, teaming up with my brother Rami, who's a Meet alum, and with 2 other members of the Meet family. We created a peer-to-peer hotline to let students talk to other students anonymously so that they don't get isolated and so that they communicate. And so now we've spread to 10 different universities in the US, and we have 300 volunteer student supporters talking to each other and supporting each other.
For me, Meet was a lifesaver in all my school year. There was a lot of negativity around me, and then I was accepted into Meet, and I honestly didn't know what to think about it. But I was really surprised, like even on the first events from Meet, it was this openness and this accepting environment and this positivity that everyone can feel. I felt I could talk to any of the staff members, any of the students about anything, and no one would judge me. I was actually able to overcome my social anxiety, and I even presented on stage for my Y3 startup, and that's something I would have never been able to do without Meet's help. Old me would have never done it. Thank you all for joining us today. We really enjoyed having you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.